Eating and training as a natural. So you've probably seen how the massive bodybuilders eat and train. For example, Chris Bumstead, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, to name a few. But obviously they're taking a little bit of supplementation, and I'm not talking about creatine and multivits. But what does a natural like me eat, and how do I train? This could be more relatable because you're probably going to see that I eat and train a little bit differently to the enhanced guys, because my ability to recover and build muscle just isn't as good. So let's run through a full day of eating and training like a natural. The time is 5 to 6 and I'm not gonna lie, I am feeling a little bit tired. Anyway, I best get a move on because I've got to get to work. Because I've got a couple of hours of PT to do before I can get in the first meal. So after a couple of PT sessions, I had some overnight oats, which consisted of 30 grams of Greek yogurt, 110 grams of oats, 30 grams of whey protein, 30 grams of protein granola, and 100 grams of mixed berries. Then I did 2 more hours of PT before eating an apple immediately before I trained. The macros for the first meal and the apple were 124 grams of carbs, 14 grams of fats, and 46 grams of protein. Yo people, it's been a while since I did any kind of training video at all, so what I'm going to do is just commentate through my session I did, well, yesterday now, which is a chest and back session. So I'm not sure if this is what people want to see, so you're going to have to communicate with me in the comment section to let me know if you want to just see eating videos or training videos as well. But because this is an eating and training video, I better talk about my training, so let's go through the session. So to kick the session off, I started off with a lat pullover. So this is basically to try and get the most out of the lat while we're fresh. So the strength profile of the lat is that we're basically strong in the length and range, and as we get the lat shorter, we're a lot weaker. So for me, it makes sense to do this movement first whilst we're fresh, because if you do like a back session and you try and get the lat short towards the end of the session, you're really going to struggle. So for me, doing some kind of pull over or pull down at the start of the session makes sense. So after that, I went into an incline barbell press, which I've not done in like over a year. So my body weight is now like 72 kilos after my photo shoot prep. I was at 68, now I'm at 72. Like slowly come up and I'm feeling a bit normal now and recovered. So I'm feeling like I can kind of progress my training again. So yeah, when I was 85 kilos, I was doing like 100 kilos for like 6 or 7 reps, and now 90 kilos I got for 6+1. So I'm 10 kilos down, but I think with a few neurological adaptations, I will soon to be back where I was at a much lighter body weight. So yeah, that's the goal. Also to add as well, like doing the pullover before the bench press, I'd only say to do that movement first if you've got like a really good connection to your lats in the first place, because otherwise a lot of people feel it in the triceps, and if that is the case, that's going to take away from your pressing. So be careful kind of like what you do select within your program. But for me, that feels good. So I'd usually do like a top set and back off approach, but at the moment I'm doing a little bit higher volume because my frequency per week with trainers 4 times. So I'm doing actually 3 sets on most exercises with a couple, doing a top set and a back off. But yeah, after the incline barbell, I went into doing some pull-ups. So you'll notice on like all of my movements, everything is so slow and controlled, because I'm not trying to train my ego, I'm trying to train muscles. I'm trying to stimulate the muscle as well as I can. The most muscle stimulus is being very accurate with your training. You know, that's another thing to mention. If you're doing like a top set and back off set approach, that's only going to work if you're very accurate with your training and you put in a lot of effort. If one of those things are missing, you're not going to be making gains, and it's probably better for you to do more volume. But anyway, after the pull-ups, I went into a cable chest press, so pausing in the length and range as I'm trying to get more out of the pecs and length and range this deep into the session. Then I went into a chest fly, doing a bit of metabolic work for like a higher rep set, like 15, 20 plus. And then I finished off with an upper back row. So all I'm thinking about with this is keeping the elbows high and wide to really kind of pull in line with the upper back and allowing that scapula to move, because obviously the upper back musculature attaches to the scapula. So allowing that movement to happen makes sense. But if you're thinking about trying to train the lats, I do the opposite and try not to let the scapula move around too much, because the lat doesn't attach to the scapula. Anyway, I tried to keep that short and sweet because I don't know if this is something that people want to see or not. But yeah, please do let me know if you want me to cover more about training in these YouTube videos, because recently it's been more about eating and nutrition. But if people want to see more training stuff, I don't mind doing that at all. Anyway, it's time to get in the post-workout meal, which is going to be 120 grams of cereal. So this is the cereal of choice, some chocolate hoops, And along with that, we're going with 30 grams of whey protein. And yes, with the whey protein, I use water and not milk, and that might come across a little bit weird and a bit psychopathic, but that's what I do. You should try it. For me, it still tastes really good, and it allows me to save them calories for another meal. This is one of those life hacks that you wish your parents taught you when you was younger. So the macros for this meal is 96 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fats, and 32 grams of protein. So the plan is I'm gonna get this down, go for a shower, do a little bit of work, respond to a few clients, probably talk a little bit to you, and then a couple of hours will have probably passed and it'll be time for the next meal. All I've done since I last spoke to you is have a shower, and I've been sat right here editing and setting up new clients. My eyes are going square looking at my MacBook for so long, so it's about time that we had the next meal. What we're gonna need is an avocado, 4 eggs, and 4 slices of seeded bread. And just in case you haven't worked out what we're gonna have some eggs and avocado on toast, and to be honest, this is like one of my favorite meals to have. I literally can't get enough of this meal at the minute. I'm one of them people that has a meal that he wouldn't normally have, enjoy it, and then just like keep having it until I get bored, and then just go on to the next thing. That's just what I do. Well, that was absolutely beautiful. So for anyone that wants the macros for that meal, we have 85 grams of carbs, 34 grams of fats, and 42 grams of protein. I'm still a little bit hungry after that meal, so what we're gonna do is have a proper anabolic snack. It don't get much more anabolic than that, some fake mini cheddars. Per bag, we've got 122 calories, we've got 6.4 grams of fat, 13 grams of carbs, and 2.8 grams of protein. This, mate, this is what's gonna make you absolutely massive. And when I say massive, I mean like you won't get massive at all unless you have a lot of these and just get fat, and that could be massive if you wanna be that type of massive.
2 hours later.
Anyway, it's time for the last meal, so let's run through all the ingredients. We will need 100 grams of green beans, 300 grams of sweet potato, 250 grams of chicken breast, 1 bagel thin, and 30 grams of salad. Right, let's do it. We'll have a bit of mayo on the side as well, light mayo of course, 10 calories per tablespoon, the usual. So the last meal of the day had a grand total of 692 calories. The macros were 72 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fats, and 82 grams of protein. So that is a full day of eating, like a little 160 pound natural, I can't even say bodybuilder, I'm just a guy that goes to the gym, but that's what I eat in a day and that's how I train. Obviously in future videos as well, I can cover my training in more depth if that's what you want to see, but please do communicate that with me in the comment section. But I do hope this video was enjoyable and worth your time anyway. If it was, please drop this video a like. Remember to smash that subscribe button below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.